Israeli aircraft executed a targeted strike on an Iranian airbase, destroying up to 5 AH-1J Cobra attack helicopters, according to Israeli media reports citing sources in the Israel Defense Forces. The helicopters, originally delivered to Iran in the 1970s under the Shah's regime, have remained nominally in service despite questions about their operational readiness. They were part of a batch of 202 Bell AH-1J International Cobra aircraft supplied by the United States between 1975 and 1978. The aircraft saw combat during the Iran-Iraq War, where many were lost in engagements with Iraqi forces. Only a limited number are believed to remain in the Iranian military inventory today, and their combat effectiveness is considered minimal. It is unclear what condition the helicopters were in at the time of the strike. However, Iran has been working to modernize the aging fleet through a program led by the Panha state-run aerospace firm. The upgraded models, designated Tufan-1, started flight testing in the late 1990s. Israeli sources have framed the operation as a demonstration of the country's ability to conduct precision airstrikes deep within Iranian territory. The Israeli government and the former Trump administration have previously claimed that Israel maintains complete air superiority over Iran. The strike follows a recent incident in which Iran downed an Israeli Hermes 900 drone equipped with precision-guided munitions. Israel is facing a critical shortage of Arrow anti-ballistic missiles, the Wall Street Journal reported, citing an unnamed U.S. government official. The source claims that the current stockpile of Arrow missiles is insufficient to sustain high-volume interceptions if the conflict continues for much longer. In response, the U.S. military is deploying additional missile defense assets to Israel, including the THAAD system and naval forces equipped with SM-3 and SM-6 interceptors. Neither the U.S. nor the Israelis can sit around and intercept missiles all day long, Tom Caraco, director of the Missile Defense Project at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, noted. Another concern is the strain on the U.S. interceptor inventory. Sources told the WSJ that the production of SM-3 missiles currently stands at just 20 to 25 units per year, which is too slow to match operational demand. Israeli officials have not publicly commented on the reported missile shortage. Instead, the Israel Defense Forces stated that roughly 40% of Iranian ballistic missile launchers have been destroyed, which has helped reduce the volume of incoming attacks. According to Western media, including Reuters, Iran has launched more than 200 ballistic missiles at Israel, with interception rates of 80 to 90%. Despite the high interception success rate, some missiles have struck their targets. Despite defensive efforts, the strike on Tel Aviv caused extensive damage to civilian infrastructure. Amid the ongoing threat, the U.S. continues to reinforce Israel's missile defense capabilities. The destroyer USS Thomas Hudner is en route to the eastern Mediterranean to join the USS Arleigh Burke and USS the Sullivans. The additional destroyer is expected to enhance Israel's missile shield and expand the U.S. strike group led by the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz. Militarny previously reported that the Israel Defense Forces claimed to have destroyed one-third of the Iranian ballistic missile launchers that targeted its territory. Israel is preparing a large-scale operation to repatriate more than 100,000 citizens currently abroad, following the latest escalation with Iran. Transport Minister Miri Regev announced the plan, according to the Times of Israel. She also confirmed that Israeli citizens are temporarily barred from leaving the country. At this stage, we will not approve the departure of Israelis abroad. Those currently departing are foreign visitors, diplomats, and tourists, Regev said. Some countries, including Portugal and Slovakia, have launched their own evacuation efforts, using Cyprus as a transit hub to remove their nationals from Israel. Poland has opted for a different approach, organizing a land evacuation through Jordan. Warsaw plans to evacuate about 200 citizens in the coming days. Israel closed its airspace at the start of its operation, aimed at neutralizing Iran's nuclear capabilities. National carrier El Al has suspended all regular flights until at least June 17th, with dozens more canceled through June 23rd, to prioritize resources for the repatriation effort. Due to the ongoing threat of Iranian missile attacks, the evacuation will be conducted in phases and under heightened security measures. In addition to air transport, the Israeli government is exploring the use of maritime routes. Discussions are underway with Mono Maritime to potentially deploy passenger ships based in Cyprus as an alternative evacuation channel. No timeline or specific safety arrangements have been disclosed. A clash of egos. Tucker Carlson clashes with Republican Senator Ted Cruz, a leading advocate for regime change in Iran. You want to topple the Iranian government, but you don't even know anything about the Iranian people?
How many people live in Iran, by the way?
I don't know the population.
At all?
No, I don't know the population.
You don't know the population of the country you seek to topple?
How many people live in Iran?
92 million.
Okay. Yeah,
How could you not know that?
I don't sit around memorizing population tables.
Well, it's kind of relevant because you're calling for the overthrow of the government.
Why is it relevant whether it's 90 million or 80 million or 100 million? Why is that relevant?
Because if you don't know anything about the country...
I didn't say I don't know anything about
Okay, what's the ethnic mix of Iran?
They are Persians and predominantly Shia. Okay,
it's not even... You don't know anything about Iran. So
okay, I am not the Tucker Carlson expert on Iran.
You're a senator who's calling for the overthrow of the government. You're the one who claims anything about the country.
No, you don't know anything about the country. You're the one who claims they're not trying to murder Donald Trump. You're the one who can't figure out if it was a good idea to kill General Soleimani, and you said it was bad.
You don't believe they're trying to murder Trump?
Yes, I do.
Because you're not calling for military strikes against them in retaliation. And if you really believe that...
We're carrying out military strikes today.
You said Israel was.
Right, with our help. I said we. Israel is leading them, but we're supporting them.
Well, you're breaking news here because the U.S. government last night denied, the National Security Council spokesman Alex Pfeiffer denied on behalf of Trump that we were acting on Israel's behalf in any offensive capacity.
No, we're not bombing them. Israel's bombing them.
You just said we were.
We are supporting
This is
Israel.
High stakes. You're a senator. If you're saying the United States government is at war with Iran right now, people are listening.
Okay.
Lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are looking to limit President Trump's ability to order U.S. strikes on Iran amid its ongoing war with Israel, emphasizing that only Congress has the power to declare war under the Constitution. This is not our war, Republican Representative Thomas Massie of Kentucky said in a post on X Tuesday, announcing that he had introduced a measure under the 1973 War Powers Resolution to block U.S. strikes. Even if it were, Congress must decide such matters according to our Constitution. The Constitution grants Congress the sole power to declare war, and the extent of the President's authority to wade into conflict abroad without the approval of the legislative branch has been challenged in recent years. In 2020, Mr. Trump faced criticism for his decision to strike Iranian military leader Qasem Soleimani without notifying congressional leaders. Massie's resolution aims to force the president to seek congressional approval before entering a war with Iran and would terminate the use of U.S. armed forces against Iran without Congress's expressed approval. It's co-sponsored by Democratic Representative Ro Khanna of California, who urged every member to go on record in a post on X on Monday. Are you with the neocons who led us into Iraq, or do you stand with the American people? Khanna said. The privileged resolution would force a vote on the matter within a number of days. The House is currently on recess, but leaders will be forced to engage with the push upon their return. The vote would put Speaker Mike Johnson, a Louisiana Republican, in a difficult position, given his strong support of Israel and the president. Senator Tim Kaine, a Virginia Democrat, is leading an effort in the Senate and introduced a similar resolution on Monday that forces a vote on requiring Mr. Trump to get congressional approval or a formal declaration of war to attack Iran, unless the U.S. is defending itself against an imminent attack. This resolution will ensure that if we decide to place our nation's men and women in uniform into harm's way, we will have a debate and vote on it in Congress, Kaine said in a statement. Kaine said Tuesday he didn't have any co-sponsors to announce yet, but I definitely have interest. Republican Senator Josh Hawley of Missouri said he isn't backing Kaine's resolution, telling reporters that there's very little danger of Mr. Trump leading the U.S. into war. But Senator Lindsey Graham, a South Carolina Republican, urged Mr. Trump to go all in if diplomacy fails. If that means providing bombs, provide bombs, Graham said Sunday. in an interview with Face the Nation with Margaret Brennan. If it means flying with Israel, fly with Israel. Mr. Trump cut short his trip to Canada for the G7 summit on Monday, citing the Israel-Iran conflict. After returning to Washington, the president wrote that, "We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran," and warned, "We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but is safe there. We are not going to take him out, kill, at least not for now," the president said. At least one Democrat said he plans to vote against Keynes' resolution. Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, who supports preemptive strikes against Iran, said he doesn't want to take any action that would curtail Mr. Trump's ability to destroy Iran's nuclear facilities. Republican Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky said his position is, "No president can bomb another country without the permission of Congress. It's always been my belief that you don't go to war without the approval of Congress, and bombing other countries is obviously war. If you want to do that, you need to come to Congress and ask for permission," Paul told reporters Tuesday. Senator Bernie Sanders, an independent from Vermont, is pushing another measure to prohibit the use of federal funds or any use of military force against Iran without consent from Congress, except in the case of self-defense. It had a handful of co-sponsors on Monday. Senate Majority Leader John Thune, a South Dakota Republican, said Tuesday that Mr. Trump is acting within his authorities for the moment and that considering war powers resolutions is getting the cart ahead of the horse. If this thing were to extend for some period of time, there could be a more fulsome discussion about what the role of Congress should be and whether or not we need to take action, Thune said.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.